What is up, Stick Mobility Instagram? It is Coach Jesse Grund joining you here. Yes, that's right, you get me for a second month. And why is that? Because we're going to be combining two of my favorite things. You know, like Oprah's favorite things, but instead it's my favorite things. And we're going to be working with the suspension trainer, and we're going to be working with the stick mobility stick. Now, for today's purposes, you will just need one long stick. However, you can also use two longs, like I have, which is going to work for the 6 is going to work for me for some exercises, and 7 is going to work with me for others. But as long as you have one long stick, you're going to be good. You're going to be able to work through this. You will also need a suspension trainer today. Now, this is a Trx suspension trainer. Suspension trainers come in many different forms and sizes. You could use rings. Not necessarily going to be the best for some of the stuff that we're doing. Trx makes a duo trainer, which is 2 individual straps. You can use a jungle gym. There's a lot of different suspension trainers out there, so any one of those will work for today's workout. As we're going through this, I'm going to have 2 different sets of straps. As you can see, kind of a big Trx motif here in my studio in Orlando. We use it a lot for the things that we're doing, whether it's mobility, whether it's strength, supersetting, body irradiation. There's a lot of benefits to suspension training, scalable for everybody. And I think that these 2 modalities really do collaborate well with each other. And that's going to be incredibly important for your practice to have 2 things that are infinitely scalable for you. So for the few people we got on here, welcome. We're going to start running through a few of our joint cars, just like we always do. We're going to go through some long stick stretches, and then we'll get into how we can combine the suspension trainer and the stick into an efficient workout today. So let's get going. So I'm going to start with this 6-foot stick directly in front of me. We're going to push it down, ground the feet, find my center, and then we're going to start with these neck cars. So we're going to go car, controlling articular rotation all the way around to one side, and then all the way around to the other. Pushing down the stick with 2 hands, all the way around to one side, all the way around the other. Last one. All the way around one side, and all the way around the other. Whew, wonderful, good. Love neck cars. They start to wake you up. You know we're about to do something, okay? Now we're going to work your scapula, okay? That's the area on the back of the shoulder blades. You're going to push down, single stick, gently push down, protract, elevate, retract, depress, push down on that stick as you depress. Protract, elevate, retract, depress, push down on that stick. One more time. Protract, elevate, retract, depress. Now, as we go in the other direction, we're actually going to lift this stick off the ground. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of load as we do this. So we're pushing down right now. We're going to retract, elevate, protract, try and pick the stick up, and then depress, push it down. Retract, elevate, protract, try and pick the stick up, depress, push it down. Last one, retract, elevate, protract, try and pick it up, and depress, and push it down. Good. Let's get into these shoulder cars. So I'm going to take the 6-foot stick, I'm going to hold it in my left hand, I'm going to push down with it as my block. I'm going to use my right arm for my car. So up and across, hug the bicep to the ear, rotate that arm in, reach all the way back. Other direction, up, around, and forward. 2 more. Pushing down with the stick. The stick's acting as a way for me to irradiate my body, and also a way for me to block anything else from happening except for me moving that shoulder. Last one. All the way around, and all the way back. So you guys stay put. Just realized while we're doing this. Cool beans. All right. Other arm, right arm pushes down, left arm, shoulder guard, and around. Now remember, if you're jumping in right now, as we go through this today, if you have any questions, try to save them to the end unless it's pertinent to the movement that we're doing. We're going to do a little bit of a Q&A session at the very end. All the way around, and all the way back. Good job. All right, we're going to work the hip car. Now this is going to make it a little harder. Single push, single point, working that right foot in, bringing it up, externally rotating it, wrapping it around and bringing it down. We're just focusing on that right hip moving right now. And as you can see, it's a little bit harder, especially when you're trying to talk and do this at the same time. Last one. Good, let's get that left side. In, up, around and down, around, in and down. 2 more, rolling through all the articular potential of that hip. Last one. Roll it around and roll it back. Good. We're going to work the right knee and right ankle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this knee up. I'm going to turn it out, pushing down with the left hand, extend and flex, in, extend and flex, out, extend and flex, in, extend and flex, out, extend and flex. Pull that right knee up into that nice deep hip flexion, pushing down with the stick in the left arm. Let's get 3 ankle cars each side. One side and the other. Beautiful, let's switch it to the other side. Pushing down, stick in the right hand, left leg comes up, turn out, moving from the knee, extend and flex, in, extend and flex, out, extend and flex, in, extend and flex, one more, out, extend and flex, one more, in, extend and flex, pull this up, squeeze, and let's get the ankle. And let's switch, 1, 2, and 3. Good. Let's get into a nice deep horse stance now. So feet wide, soft knees, tailbone tucked underneath, sticks right in front of us, pushing about 30%. And let's start working on activation of our feet. So from here, I want you to start shifting the weight into the toes, start to drive the heel off the ground, drive up through those toes and hold. Tuck that tailbone, pushing the stick, 40%, hold, and then come back down. We're just getting these feet to work a little bit. Let's do it again. Push, tuck, shift, drive, hold. 3, 2, 1, back down. Go, let's do one more. Hopefully you are barefoot for this, as you should be, or at least in barefoot shoes. Soft knees, nice deep horse stance. Tuck the tailbone, and push and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Good. Take that long stick we were just working with. Let's bring it behind the back. We're going to go through a series of stretches with the stick itself, and then we'll transition into doing some of these stretches, adding in the TRX. So we're going to start with just this standing rotation. So from here I am, pushing the stick together, rotating the upper body to one side, pushing together, rotate it to the other. Push, rotate to one side. Push, rotate to the other. Pushing the stick together, left side. Push the stick together, right side. Good, now it's gonna pull apart. Left side, should feel different. Right side. Left side. Right side. One more. Left side. And right side. Nice job. Good, good, good. Now, we're going to go back to that arms behind us here in a second. We're going to go to a kayak first. So arms out nice and wide. Pushing the stick together nice and gently. And we're going to start forward. So just give me about 30% pushing the stick. And moving forward. Big open here. We're working to that scapula. Working to the upper body stuff. Slowly getting into some global movements here. Forward, good rotations. Keep moving it forward. Nice and tight and strong as you do this. Good. Pause. Pull it apart and let's go backwards. Try to stay out of extending through your rib cage. Try to keep it just in the arms, just in that scapula. Try to keep that stick attached to your chest for 5. Pull it apart for 4. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Now, we're going to go to bow and arrows next. I cannot actually do bow and arrows very well with this 6-foot stick, so because I'm in this weird height range, I'm 6'3", I like to go to the 7-foot stick for my bows. Okay, so let's go through our bow and arrows here. So label the stick in the left hand, outside the left hip. I get this question asked of me a lot. Jesse, how far should the stick be from my body? It's a two-part answer. One, what's my intention here? And I'm just trying to get this nice relaxing stretch. Well, then move it further away. But if I'm trying to get better mobility, or it's better for warming up, I'm going to bring it as close as I can where I can handle it. Okay? So you choose. Now, thumbs down grip with the top hand, pushing down with both, drive my hip as far to the right as I can get it, and then pull that right arm to the ceiling for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly swoop that around. We're down. Nice deep hinge, retracting that right scap, driving that left hand across for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and come up. Little spin. Take that right hand, bring it to thumbs up. Pushing down with the top, pushing down with the bottom, breath in, and push as far away as I can get. And pull. Pull it apart, about 50-60% for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Swooping around again. Slide that stick a little bit in front of you. Pushing down, driving back. Trying to retract that right scap, hold for 5, reach that left arm across for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Little spin, come up. You should feel that whole right side starting to function, starting to fire a little better. Right hand pushing down at the top, left hand at the center. Breath in, and breath out. Push down with that top hand, push down with that bottom hand. Big long lat. Now try and pull the top hand to the ceiling for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Swoop it around. Take a nice deep step back. Switch this to an overhand grip. And let's bow and rotate into the right hip. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and slowly come up. Good, little spin. Let's go to the other side. Stick in the right hand, outside the right hip, pushing down, grabbing. So here we go, we're gonna work push and drive. Ooh, big opening on that side. Pull it apart for 5, 50-60% for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Swoop it around. Get that nice deep hinge, try and retract that left scap. Holding for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Come up, a little spin. Same side, thumbs up grip. Breath in, and breath out, push it away. Pull that top hand to the ceiling for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Swoop it around. Trying to retract that left scap right here. Pull it back, retract it. Push forward for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Coming up, good. Last one, rooftop. Big long top hand. Breath in, and breath out, push into your bow. Nice long bow. Pull that top hand to the ceiling for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. And swoop on out. Step back with that inside leg, which would be that right leg. Turn that left hand up. Rotate into that lateral bow, loading that left hip for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and come up. Love that one. That is definitely one of my favorites. All right, we're going to go back to the 6-foot stick. Last couple of stretches here, and then we'll jump on the straps. So arms nice and wide. Nice wide foot stance. Keep forgetting where my camera center is. My apologies. Good. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to work on our slap shot. If you're not familiar with slap shot, it is an upper body rotation, which we worked on already, and a lateral lunge. We're going to try and keep as deep as we can into each lateral lunge. Now, let's just do some lateral lunges to start so you know what it feels like. So push the stick together, lateral lunge right, come up, lateral lunge left, feel where your range is. Up, right, up, left, more, up, right, up, left. Beautiful. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hinge. We're going to rotate just like we did where our upper body only is the thing that's moving. And then I'm going to lateral lunge to my right. And then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Switch. Left. Breath. Load left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. I want to get a little spine in here. Push the stick together. Squeeze those glutes. Arch the back to the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You may even feel that in your hip flexors a little bit. If you do, that's good. 2 more times into this. Hinge. Right stick across. Loading this right side. Push and load. Hold bottom for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Remember, stick is out in front of you a little bit, not directly underneath you. And left for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Push the stick together and drive the hips arch the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We're opening up a lot of thoracic spine here, getting those hips, getting those adductors. Feels really good here, guys. Hinging, last one, right side rotating across. That left chest is opening up. That oblique is opening up. That whole oblique line is opening up. And now I'm going to go in the frontal plane to the right and deepen all of that stuff, lengthening the left for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Other side, across, left. Push the stick together and load for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Last one. Pushing the stick, driving the glutes, opening the spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come out. Good. We joint mobilize, we tissue mobilize, and now we're going to get on the suspension trainer. Now, if you have never used a suspension trainer before, you're in luck. So I've been working with and on the TRX suspension trainer since 2012. I've had the honor of doing demos with them across the world. I'm one of their instructor candidates, which is a really cool accomplishment. There's only a few of us across the world, so you get a treat. You get me today and the suspension trainer. So let's go over some pieces so that as I'm coaching, you kind of understand what I'm trying to coach. So handles, foot cradles. Now I know not every suspension trainer is like this, but when we're on the TRX, that's how I'm going to be referencing things. Do the best you can with what you've got. I know jungle gym's a little different. Rings, you're just going to have a ring, okay? This is our anchor point. This is universal in that when I talk about what we're doing, we're standing facing our anchor point. Now, it's not universal as TRX's anchor point is an individual anchor point with a loop. This like thing right here is property of TRX. They came up with this, okay? Now, if you're using a duo system, which is 2 rings or a duo suspension trainer or the jungle gym, when I say standing facing your anchor point, this is facing your anchor point right here. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? Now with the TRX, I'll be shouting out strap links. If you don't have a TRX, again, that's okay. But if you do have a TRX trying to follow along, strap links, we have, right now, it's as long as it can possibly be. Then we have fully short lead, which is as short as it can possibly be. And then we have mid-length, which is right in the center, okay? Any one of those, I'll be shouting out. We'll be starting with our mid-length straps for our first exercise, okay? And the first exercise that we're actually going to do is going to be a Trx W Fly, okay? Now we're going to do this with the TRX first for the first set, and then we're going to add the stick for a second set. you'll kind of feel the difference between the two. And then we'll go back to the TRX, and I'm going to want you to tell me, did it make your TRX practice of this movement better? Hope it did. So, this is my first time doing these on here, so I'm going to be playing with my position. Let me turn this camera. I'm going to move you guys back just a little bit so you can see my body positioning a little bit more. All right, so W Fly means we are going to do a high row, which is both arms pulling, and then we are going to rotate our arms as external rotation of your shoulder. First set we're going to do this with is just the TRXs itself. So you're going to stand facing your anchor point, whatever that anchor point is. Straps at mid-length, hands pulled into your chest. We're going to be using offset foot stance for this. So left foot slightly forward, right foot slightly back. You can see my heel is up. I'm going to drop down to the bottom. Arms are fully lengthened. Weight is in that back leg. It's TRX, so I'm always planking. I'm going to pull and then rotate from the shoulder. Then re-rotate down and come to the bottom. So that's our high row to W Fly. Let's do 8. Ready? Pull, rotate, return, reset. That's 1. Pull, rotate, return, reset. That's 2. Pull, rotate, return, reset. That's 3. Pull, rotate, return, reset. That's 4. Pull, rotate, return, reset. That's 5. Pull, rotate, return, reset. That's 6. 2 more. Pull, rotate, return, reset. That's 7. Last one. Pull, rotate, return, and reset. And that is 8. Hopefully your shoulders that we warmed up with cars are starting to feel what external rotation feels like. Now, let's add a stick to that. Now, you can add a short stick. We're going to add a long stick to this, and I'll show you why as we get into it. But we're adding a stick to this. Here's the cool thing. So we're going to go through the foot cradles here. And I'm going to spread this out so it's on either end. I'm going to slide my hands right against the foot cradles themselves. And then I'm going to get set for this exercise. Now as I do this, same offset foot stance. And as I pull and rotate, now I'm aiming for that stick to get over my head. And that should feel a little different as I do this. So it's still the same motion, the same movement. It's still this to this, but now we're adding a stick to it. We're on a single anchor point still. So here we go. And if you feel like your straps are sliding a little bit, if you put them on the rubber, they won't slide. However, if you want to, you can just rub your hands right up against them and it won't go anywhere. Okay? So here we go. High row to W Fly with a stick in TRX. Row, rotate, return, reset. You just closed it up. Row, rotate, return, reset. That's 2. For me, this burns a whole lot more. You can also pull apart on the stick at top. Let's try it. Row, rotate, pull that stick apart. Woo! Return, reset. That's 3. Row, rotate, pull, return, reset. That's 4. Row, rotate, pull it apart, return, reset. That's 5. Row, rotate, pull it apart, return, reset. That's 6. 2 more. Row, rotate, pull it apart, return, reset. That's 7. 1 more. Row, rotate, pull it apart, return, and reset. That's 8. I don't know about you, but you should feel that rotation just a little bit more as we were going through that. Why? A couple of reasons. One, as I'm pulling now, I now have an aim point for my hands. They've got to get over my head. So it's pure shoulder rotation here as I do that. So My shoulders are warm. Let's go back to the straps, do it the way we did it for our last set of these, and tell me how you feel as you do it. See if that cleaned up any rotation issues that you might have had, whether it's compensating by moving the arm in, or just feeling a little weak, not feeling where it's supposed to hit. Here we go. Pulled in, finish position, offset stance. Here we go. Row, rotate, woo! Return, reset, that's one. Row, rotate, return, reset, that's two. Row, rotate, return, reset, that's three. Row, rotate, return, reset, that's four. Row, rotate, return, reset, that's five. Three more. Row, rotate, return, reset, that's six. Two more. Row, rotate, return, reset, that's seven. Last one. Row, rotate, return, reset, and that is eight. I don't know about you. My shoulders are fired up. Fired up, guys. Okay, now, next exercise we are going to go to, I'm going to go to my other set of straps for this one. And please, if you have any questions, I'm not going to be able to scroll through. Stick around, save them for the end. I'm going to do a little 5-minute Q&A session, okay? Now we're going to go to a lunge fly with the TRX, okay? So I'm going to jump on my other set of straps because this means I can come kind of right at you. If you got me in 3D, this may be a problem. But we're going to do lunge flies. Let me go over the setup. Now, if you're using a TRX, fully lengthened straps, walk forward to your handles, hit your hip pockets. Slide your arms out in front of you, set your plank. If you are not using a TRX, whatever your duo system is or jungle gym, set up arms locked out, Frankenstein position. From here, I'm going to take a big step forward with my left leg, my arms transition overhead, and I'm going to slowly drop in. And then come up and push back. We're going to do the same side for 8, then the other side for 8. So big step, drive down, drive up, and forward, that's 1. Active plank, stepping with the left, forward, down, up, back, that's 2. Tension in your straps, tension in your suspension trainers. Forward, down, up, back, that's 3. Forward, down, up, back, that's 4. Forward, down, up, back, that's 5. 3 more. Forward, down, up, back, that's 6. 2 more. Forward, down, up, back, that's 7. 1 more time. Forward, down, up, back, that's 8. Let's go right side. Forward, down, up, back, that's 1. Tension, reset. If you start to move back towards the anchor point, bring yourself up. Forward, down, up, back, that's 1. Forward, down, up, back, that's 2. Saw somebody ask something about home. This is a suspension trainer. You use it everywhere. Most suspension trainers can all be set up at home. TRX has a door attachment to it. Suspension trainers are one of the best home things that you can use. We're using it with the TRX, doesn't take up any space at all. Forward, down, up, back. Woo! Forward, down, up, back. 3 more. Forward, down, up, back. 2 more. Forward, down, up, back. Last 1. Forward, down, up, and back. So that is our TRX or suspension trainer lunge fly. Great exercise for both getting myself into a knee dominant position. Also on top of that, starting to open up some of the hip flexor stuff and putting some effort into the overhead. Guess what we're doing now? If you guessed we're adding a stick, you are correct. Now, same thing. Put it through your handles, put it through your foot cradles. beauty about TRX is I got these wonderful foot cradles on here. I'm going to stand facing away from my anchor point. I'm going to do the same thing. So my arms are going to start set up here. Now here's the cool thing with this. So first of all, I'm in this standing active plank position. The other thing is I can pull apart on this stick, which is going to create more tension. So here we go. Forward, down, up, and back. Chest high. Pushing into the stick. Left leg step forward. Woo! Pull apart on that stick. Down, up, and back. That's one. Single anchor point means I've got some stability going on here. See, it wants to move side to side. Rep number 2. Forward. Pull apart. Down, up, back. 2. Forward. Down, up, back. That's 3. Woo! Forward. Down, up, back. That's 4. Keep pulling apart on that stick. About 40-50% here. Forward. Down, up, back. That's 5. Forward. Down, up, back. That's 6. 2 more. Forward. Down, up, back. That's 7. Last one. Forward. Down, up, and back. That's 8. Let's go to the other side. Right side. Forward. Down, up, back. That's 1. Pull apart on that stick. Forward. Down, up, back. That's 2. Pull it apart. Forward. Down, up, back. That's 3. Try and pull it out of the wall when you get into that position. So don't just pull apart on the stick. Drive it forward. Down, up, back. 5. Forward. Down, up, back. That's 6. 2 more. Forward. Down, up, back. That's 7. Last one. Pull apart on that stick. Drive it forward. Down, up, back. That is 8. Don't know about you, but the stick just made that a little more intense for me. A little bit more intense. Got to pull apart, creating more body irradiation, taking the suspension trainer, and now making it a tool that challenges the grip, and we're challenging that pattern at the same time. More tension means the body is going to respond to it as more load, which is awesome. So, like we did before, we're going to go back to no stick, and we're going to use the TRX only. Now, here's what you're going to do on this one. We're going to add a slight tilt to finish this one off. So arms straight out in front of you, so standing facing away from your anchor point, straps fully lengthened, walk forward, handles hit the hip pockets, slide the arms directly out. Left leg stepping, push into your straps right now. Forward, down, tilt away from the right hip. Up, back, and that's 1. Forward, step with the left, down, tilt, away from the right hip. Center, back, that's 2. Forward, down, tilt, over, back, that's 3. Forward, down, tilt, up, back, that's 4. Forward, down, tilt, over, back, that's 5. 3 more. Left leg steps forward, down, tilt, up, back, that's 5. Forward, down, tilt, over, back. Last 2. Forward, down, tilt, over, back. Last 1. Forward, down, tilt, over, and back. Nice job. When you tilt, you should feel a bigger stretch down that right side, down that back hip. Stepping with the right now. Here we go. Forward, down, tilt to the right, away from the left hip, back up, and back. That's 1. Forward, down, tilt, over, back. That's 2. Forward, down, tilt, over, back. That's 3. Forward, down, tilt, over, back, that's 4. Forward, down, tilt, over, back, that's 5. Last 3. Forward, down, tilt, over, back, that's 6. Forward, down, tilt, over, back, that's 7. Last 1. Forward, down, tilt, over, and back, that is 8. Take note. How did one feel in comparison to the other? When we used the suspension trainer and the stick together, did it enhance it? Did it make like it felt harder? Did it feel easier as a result? We're gonna finish with one of my favorite exercises combining the two. We're not gonna switch these out. We're gonna go right to it, and we're gonna do some rollouts. So, take your stick, put it back inside your suspension trainer. Now, who here likes a good barbell rollout? Raise your hand. You don't have to actually raise it, I know you're online. But what we're gonna do is, we're gonna use a single anchor point, we're gonna create some pressure in our stick by pulling apart, and we're gonna do some rollouts. So if you've ever done a rollout before on the ground, it's a forward and back motion, really firing at the core when we do it. If you're doing this on the ground with a barbell, you can't really scale it. You can either get there or you can't. Suspension trainer and stick, now I can scale it, which is awesome. So a couple ways I can scale it. 1, if you just want to do it from a straight forward and back position, I guarantee you're going to get a lot out of it. If you want to make it harder, go back a little bit more. Go back a little bit more. The further you go back, the harder this becomes to work through for a full range of motion. But pick what you can do. We're only going to do 1 set of this. Trust me, that's all you need. So pulling apart your stick, try to be center with the stick, center with your anchor point, straps are to fully lengthened, glutes tight. I've only got a little bit of angle because I want to demonstrate this to you properly. Forward, whole body comes forward, whole body comes back, and that's 1, and that core is now sufficiently lit up. Let's go again. 2, 3. Want to make it harder? Bring your hands in a little closer. 4. 5. Pull apart on that stick, create that tension. 6. Halfway there. Pull it apart, drive forward. 7. 8. 4 more. Challenge that distance. 3 more. Remember, you're not a turtle. Your head doesn't get you a better range of motion. 2 more. 1 more time. Last rep today. And back. Woo! Core, you are alive. You are awake. Now, next week, we'll be going through this again. We're going to build on all those movements. We're going to do the ones with the stick and TRX together and then build into new ones. And by the end of the month, we'll have a whole circuit together. Now, this is your time to ask any questions that you'd like to ask. Please make them appropriate to stick mobility, suspension training, can be strength and conditioning in general. And I've got another screen. If you can't tell, I've looked a couple times. I've got another screen I'm looking at, so I'll be able to read it. Got about 5 minutes. Any questions that you have, I will try and answer them starting now. And I'm not just going to stare at the screen the whole time. I'm going to give it a second to see if anybody pops any questions in there. Again, appropriate to stick mobility, appropriate to strength and conditioning. Hi. I like hellos, those are awesome. Does anybody have any questions who can understand me? Thank you. Any questions at all about suspension training and stick mobility? The goal of both of them is to maintain tension in the body as you're moving, right? So they marry with each other so incredibly well. So this is a great combination to be able to do, is to take the stick mobility sticks, boom, and combine them with the suspension trainer. It's a huge ability to be able to do that. So if anybody has any questions about how you can maximize it, where you can get some sticks, where you can figure out how to put a suspension trainer up in your house, because I heard that one already. Please ask now. I will try, and I do not know Hindi. Hopefully you can type a question to me and I can read it, and then you can translate me later. I know, I'm going global and the only language I speak is English. Tisk, tisk, blame my education system. It's the United States. No comment about our education system. If you're curious what kind of sticks that you need, would you do the same workout with Olympic rings? Love that question. So rings are different. Can you do the same workout? For sure. And actually, because it's a duo anchor point, there's 2 separate anchor points. You can actually anchor it separately, which is really cool, to do some of the more intense stuff where you're trying to pull. And you'll see that next week as we get into some of the stuff where we're pulling on the anchor while we're doing stuff with the stick at the same time. That's coming. It's a good time. Can you do the same thing with rings? Short answer, yes. Long answer, you're not going to be able to be as free with the rings as you are with a set of TRX suspension trainers, because of the foot cradles and because of the ability to keep your hands on the foot cradles if you want. Favorite way to teach someone a radiation with the sticks or the suspension trainer? Hey, that's a great question. Thank you. So I wasn't expecting a great question, and that's not a knock on any of you here. It's just a knock on the internet. So how do I teach people radiation? So the first thing I got to do is teach you how to create tension in your body first. So before I can actually teach you external radiation into a stick, I've got to teach you how to create the tension in your body. So it starts from the ground up. Most all energy we're going to absorb force from the ground up. We're going to create tension to the foot. Dr. Emily Spleichel talks about doing short foot to activate the foot, so lifting all the toes, putting them down, and then trying to drive the ground between my big toe and my heel together without knuckling my toes. Then squeezing the glutes and the core, taking a breath in, creating tension in the abdomen, and then whatever apparatus I'm going to create that irradiation into, let's say it's a stick, it's transition that force into it without losing the base that you've created. And that's what creates that extra positional irradiation. Same thing with the TRX. If I'm taking the TRX and I'm doing something like a row, I'm going to create all that same tension, boom feet, boom lower body, boom drive it in, and don't lose any of it on the way down and the way back up again, creating better positional irradiation as we go through. So that's how I teach it. I teach it from the ground up for someone who's never done it before. It's about learning how to channel that energy through your feet, through the ground, through the rest of your body. Great question. Awesome question. Makes me love having a Q&A session. Anybody else with any questions that I can answer regarding stick mobility, TRX, irradiation, how your joints work, anything, guys, that's what I'm here for. We got another 2 minutes. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Do the best I can to understand most of these. Any other questions regarding stick mobility and TRX? I'm so glad you loved it. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Guys, if you're wondering, there are a lot more classes. Gosh, there are so many classes at this point. If you check out the Instagram page, if you actually go check out the YouTube page as well, Facebook page, you're going to find a lot more classes and a lot more content. The guys who run Stick Mobility, they give away so much stuff for you. It's incredible. So buy yourself a set of sticks, and then you've got every resource in the world. You can join me on one of these classes. We have other teachers teaching across the country in the United States at different times on different days. You can join one of us, where you can go and follow a workout that's already been done. I've been doing this now for going on 6-8 months. So I filmed a lot of classes at this point. So please buy some sticks at stickmobility.com. Have them shipped to your house and start using some sticks. I've heard some other people talk about using wooden dowels. I'm going to answer that question before it's asked. Can you use a wooden dowel? Yes. It's a stick. But see what makes this cool? This bends. We got grip here. It does a lot of different things than a wooden dowel and a PVC. Imagine just doing this to a PVC pipe. Exactly what happened to that PVC. It would explode. All right, if nobody else has any more questions, I really enjoyed my time with you today. We're going to be building on that foundation next week. So expect a warm up, expect less of the introduction to how everything feels different, and we go right into the movements, and then we learn the new movements that we're going to learn next week. Stick Mobility Instagram, thanks for having me. Coach Jesse Grund, Unconventional Strength, Orlando, Florida. You can find me on social media. Thank you so much. Do you feel this? That's a big fat question with a multifactorial answer to it. Is it more IR? Is it more ER? You gotta assess the person to find out and know what their everyday is and know what they do and know how they train, and that'll give you some indication, and then assessing them gives a really good indication. And then is it a passive issue or an active issue? Ooh, now we're starting to deep dive. Please message me that privately. I'll try and answer that in a bit more detail, but I appreciate you guys joining me today.